Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about quadratic equation. It is one of the most important topics when we are considering the exams like RRB, SBI PO, SSC and also some state PSC examination. So today in this 50-minute session, so we are actually focusing on to a 50-minute session. In this 50-minute sessions, we are going to cover the entire questions which are related to this quadratic equations. We will try our level best to cover all the types of questions. Not we are going to cover entire questions, we will cover all the types. At least one question will be done in each type. And these 50-minute sessions will be again divided into 3 sessions, and each sessions will be consisting of each method. So we can enter into our first session. So what is quadratic equation? Quadratic equation is any equation of the type ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Here a should not be equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, then it is, if a equal to 0, then it is known as linear equation. So I don't understand what is quadratic equation. We can move on to another session or another important topic which we'll be using in our entire sessions now onwards. So how we can classify quadratic equations, or how we can do some problems when the quadratic equations is given. So suppose, for example, ax square plus bx plus c is given as a quadratic equation. Now, if a, b and c, if a, b and c is positive, then the root will be always negative. Now, in the second case, when a and c are positive and b equal to negative, then the root would be always the roots. We have to say roots because a quadratic equation will be having two roots. So in this case, the roots would be always positive. Another case where C, A and B equal to positive, C is negative. Then the roots, there will be two roots, and out of the two roots, the larger root would be negative. And last, that is when C and B are negative. Out of the two roots, the smaller root would be negative. So this is an important concept, or this is an important things which you have to either by heart or just understand this. We will be using in our following problems. Now, how to find the roots in seconds? In normal cases, we will do our conventional methods to find the roots. So we for example, in this case, in this question, x square plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. We usually follow conventional way. In this conventional way, first we will split the middle term such that split the middle term means 5. This 5 should be split in such that the sum of the split should be equal to 5, and the product of the split should be equal to 6. And for that we will just prime factorize 6. We will get us 2 and 3. So we will get us 2 and 3 as a split. So we will write as x square plus as 2x plus 3x plus 6 equal to 0. And then we will again combine the like terms, and we will get us x plus 2 into x plus 3 equal to 0. But doing this type of steps or this type of grammar in a competitive exam, we will use just 20 to 30 seconds. It's very critical because the competition is very high. So we have to compress the steps. How can we get roots in seconds? For example, x square plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. We don't need to do this unnecessary step. We can just find a split. Here split means the sum is equal to 5 and product is 6. So just find a split as 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 is a split. Now looking at the previous steps session, we just understood that when A, B and C is positive, the roots are negative. When A and C is positive and B is negative, roots are positive. And A and B positive, C is negative, roots are the larger root is negative. So applying this concept, all this A, B and C is positive. So the roots would be negative. So just put a negative sign. So x square plus 5x plus 6, just find a split and put a negative sign. In this way, we can find the roots in seconds. Now we can do another problem. X square plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. So here the sum should be 7 and the product should be 10. So just by observing or just by doing the fractions, we will get 2 and 5. 2 and 5 is a split. So 2 and 5. Here A, B and C is positive. So the root should be negative. Just put a negative sign. So in just 8 to 10 seconds we can find the answer. So we are going to do another model of question. Ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 and a is not equal to 1. So we can do the problem. 4x square plus 14x plus 12 equal to 0. How can we do the problem? The basic steps, the steps involved in doing this problem is first find a split. Then divide the split with coefficient of x square, and last we have to put a sign according to the properties as or we have already learned. Put sign. Now we can do the problem. Here the problem is like this: 4x square plus 14x plus 12 equal to 0. Here for finding the split, the product of the split should be equal to 12 into 4. 12 into 4. And sum should be equal to 14. So product should be equal to 12 into 4 and sum should be equal to 14. We don't need to multiply 12 and 4 and then again factorize. We have to do another way. Just factorize 12. We get as 4 into 3 and 4. Then 4. First factorize 12, then factorize 4, which is 2 into 2. So 12 into 4 would be equal to 4 into 3 into 2 into 2. Now from this we can find the split which makes the product 12 into 4 and sum 14. So we can make 14 like this: 4 into 2, 8, and 3 into 2, 6. 8 into 8 and 6 makes sum 14 and product 48. So split is 8 and 6. So split equal to 8 and 6. Now divide the split with the coefficient of x square. So 8 divided by 4 and 6 divided by 4. Now here to put the sign. When we are looking at the problem, we can say that A, B and C all are positive. So the roots would be negative. So we have to put one negative sign here. So minus 8 by 4 and minus 6 by 4 would be the roots of this equation. So we are entering into another session. In this session, we are going to discuss some problems which is of this type. The question is just like this: x square minus 7x plus 12 equal to 0 and y square plus 4y plus 4 equal to 0, and some of the option which was given as x greater than y, b x less than y, c x equal to y, and d cannot determine. So how can we do this type of problems? In this type of problems we have to look carefully. We have to, in normal case, we will just find the root of this equation, now compare the roots of both the equations and find an answer from this option. But this is very time taking. It will take around 1 minute, and 1 minute is very crucial time in a competitive examination. So we have to find another easy methods we have to follow just to find the answer. So in this case, what we can do, as in the previous classes, we have learned some properties which tell about the sign of the roots when the value of a, b and c in ax square plus bx plus c is given. When a, b and c is positive, root would be negative, and when a is positive, c is positive and b is negative, then the root would be positive. So in this case, is a is positive, b is negative, and c is positive. So when a is positive, c is positive and b is negative, then the root would be positive. Okay, in this case, a is positive, B is positive and C is also positive. So the root would be negative. So here X is always positive and Y is always negative. So the answer X would be greater than Y. So that is the answer. To make the concept clear, we can do one more problem. 2x square plus 4x plus 5 equal to 0 and 5y square plus minus 19y plus 35 equal to 0. Just look, here A is positive, B is positive, C is positive. So the roots would be negative. Okay. In this case, A is positive, B is negative, and C is positive. So the roots would be positive. So X is always negative and Y is always positive. So Y would be always greater than X, and this is the answer. Okay. In this session, we are going to discuss about how to factorize an irrational number. Here, the irrational number is of the form x square minus 10 root 3 plus 48 equal to 0. How to rationalize this question? In this question, we have to say the split. The question is just like this: x square minus 10 root 3x plus 48 equal to 0. So in this question, we have to say the split as a root 3 and b root 3. So observing this, the product of the split should be 48. So AB will be equal to 48 divided by root 3 into root 3, which we get as 60. And A plus B, the whole root 3 equal to 10 root 3, which we cut, and A plus B equal to 10. So A plus B equal to 10 and AB equal to 60. So sum equal to 10 and product equal to 60. We get a split as 8 and 2. So split is 8 and 2. Now observe the values of A, B and C. A is positive, B is negative, C is positive. So we can say that the roots would be positive. The roots is positive. So plus plus. So the answer is A root 3 and B root 3. Here A is 8, B is 2. So 8 root 3 and 2 root 3 will be the answer. In this way, we can solve any rational numbers. We are moving on to the last session on this day. So in this session, we are going to discuss about a common mistake which some of us may commit during an exam. So the question is just like this: x square equal to 25 and y equal to root 81, and the option given was x greater than y, b y less than x, c x greater than or equal to y, and d cannot determine. So what is your answer? Think. Now if your answer is cannot determine, the answer is wrong. So where is the mistake? Usually we will do it just like this: x square is equal to 25. So x is equal to plus or minus 5. And this is right. This step is correct. Now in the other step, y equal to root 81, and we will write y equal to plus or minus 9. Sorry, this is the wrong step, and this step is the mistake which is committed by many of us. So y equal to root 81 means y is equal to 9. There is no minus. Y would be always equal to plus 9. So y equal to 9 and x equal to plus or minus 5. Y is always greater than x, and this is the answer. Thanks. Now we will continue with another session tomorrow. With this, we have covered all the patterns questions that can be answered the quadratic equations. To practice as many questions you should practice as many questions as you can, and I will provide some links below to the questions and for some good books.